Hi, and welcome to Political Quickie, your political show that subjectively discusses current affairs in South Africa and all around the world. My name is Mapa Sekamura. Now, a white South African woman has called President Matamela Ramaphosa an ape who is trying to be a first world president. Now, the comments were made in response to President Matamela struggling to put on his mask. And that was straight after his COVID-19 address last week, Thursday, on the 23rd of April. Now, an anonymous civilian has laid charges of criminal injury against the woman. According to Times Live, they spoke to her and she's very sorry. She apologized and she says that her comments were blown out of proportion. My question is, if, what you said wasn't so serious, why are you apologizing in the first place, right? So, South Africans, a few of them have been charged with criminal injury because of their racism in the past few years. Let us go down memory lane, right? First, remember Adam Katsavelis, yes, that white man who shot and posted a video of himself calling black people kafirs. Now, he was on a beach in Greece and he said he is glad that there is no kafir in sight. Now, the South African Human Rights Commission took him to the Equality Court. They did settle out of court for 150,000 rands. He also did some community service at an NGO that is headed by former anti-apartheid activist Ntata Seth Mazibuko. The EFF, on the other hand, laid charges against him of criminal injury, and he was sentenced for 2 years imprisonment or a 50,000 rands fine, which was suspended for 5 years. Now, what that means is that for a period of 5 years, he's not allowed to commit another criminal injury crime. Basically, which means he's essentially not going to prison for as long as he doesn't commit another crime. Yeah. Okay. So another one was Penny Sparrow. Remember Penny Sparrow, who posted on Facebook and said that black people were like monkeys. She's also taken to the Equality Court, this time by the ANC, and a ruling of 100,000 rands was made against her. And former Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba also pressed criminal injury charges against her, and she was sentenced to 12 months in prison or a 5,000 rands fine, and a further 2 years that was suspended. She actually later died of cancer, but I actually like to think that she died of all that hatred that was inside her. The last person to think about is Vicki Mamba, who is actually the first South African to be convicted for making racial slurs. Remember her? She was out there cursing out black police officers and calling them kafirs. She said the word at least 40 different times. Now, they were there to assist her just after she was involved in a smash and grab. 100,000 rands fine was ruled against her in the Equality Court, and of course she was found guilty of criminal injury and sentenced to 2 years in prison and a further 1 year which was suspended. In a turn of events, she is now suing the NDPP and the Minister of Police for 8.5 million rands for unlawful arrest and detention. According to her counsel, when she was arrested, the police didn't have a warrant of arrest. They had an order of apprehension. Hey, so we're going to see. We are going to see how that goes now. We are going to see. But however, for the real conversation that I want to have, number one, I think criminal injury is not enough, right, to deal with racism in South Africa. The sentencing is too mediocre because criminal injury was not designed to deal specifically with racism, right? The thing about racism and racial slurs is that it doesn't just impair your dignity, it's actually inhumane. Do you know what I mean? So this slap on the wrist, 50,000 rands fine or 2 years imprisonment or suspended sentencing is just not going to cut it. It's not cutting it. Hence, we see these people repeatedly making these racial slurs. The second thing is that we absolutely 100% need a racism legislation, okay? And the minimum sentence, prison sentence that is, should be 10 years. And there should be an option in the legislation to actually deport white racist South Africans to the country of their ancestors' origin, right? The third thing would be that every single person who is convicted of racism should actually be registered on the racism registry. They must be on there. Everyone must know that this person is a racist. It should actually be stamped on their passport and their ID so that they're exposed and they're embarrassed if they can ever be, right? They should be exposed to that level. Another thing that I'm just noting is that these people actually, there's some similarities, right? Vicki Mamba and Penny Sparrow were actually real estate agents. Vicki Mamba, the current lady that we're talking about, and Penny Sparrow were all from Durban, all three of them. So, KZN, what's happening? Like, what is going on? Okay, but okay. Let's leave it right there. Let's park it. Use a talent to serve humanity, and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.